Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna give you all the opportunity to get on because this is like a random live. I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to get on. Hold on 1 second. How is everyone doing tonight? I'm gonna give y'all the opportunity to come in while I download something. Let me see. MP4. I'm giving y'all the opportunity to come into the room. Let's see, we got 5 people. Hey, Antonio. How is everybody doing tonight? I know it's random, and I don't intend for it to be real long. I'm trying to download something because it's something that I want to talk about. It's quite a few things that I want to talk about. I want to make it like a quick live. Of course, like an hour or so. Um, let me see. I'm gonna be able to download it in a few minutes. Let me see something. Let me see who is in here. I see Miss Shirley Jenkins, Little Miss Muffin, Rest in Peace, Young Dolph. How you doing, Rest in Peace, Young Dolph? Ricky King, Jeff Lee, Dirty Red, Letitia. Yeah, this I was not gonna even get on tonight. This is definitely a random live where I just wanted to have open topic. I was looking at something. I was on the internet researching something. And y'all, yes, please hit the like button. And I'm thinking about just how terrible it has gotten in the Memphis area. Like, it is bad. And believe it or not, it always get worse in um it always get worse around the holidays, especially around like I'm glad you got on. How about thank you, Rest in Peace, Young Doll. It always get bad around the holidays. Okay. And I think it's sad what's going on in Memphis. Hey, Nika, Leo Thompson, Joy Loves God. Nika is a member. Joy Loves God is a member. Who else? Little Miss Muffin is a member. I was told to ask you how you feel about Finesse 2 times signing with bag. Ooh, child. I really just hate that. And I'm being honest. I just I think that Finesse 2 times I think they definitely felt as if they didn't have a choice. Hey, Lynn, because they got to try to dim and shine. He's blazing. So somebody that's blazing like Finesse, I don't know how much Finesse knows about the business. Um, um, I think Gotti told Moneybag, regardless to how you feel about him, because see, let me tell y'all something. The way Gotti has it is, and that's the reason why he was so mad at Young Dolph. This has been something in the making forever. Yeah, it's something behind it. Even when he signed these artists and they started a label, because they could say, well, Moneybag got his own label, Brett Gang. Moneybag is still up under the umbrella of CMG. So whoever he signs, it's like a pyramid scheme. Whomever he signs, Gotti is going to always get a percentage of that. Moneybag is his artist. He'll always get a percentage of Moneybag's artist. He wanted everybody to be up under the umbrella of CMG. I'll be glad when God deal with him. So it's gonna take God for him. And when God get him, he ain't gonna recover. Ain't nobody gonna have to look over their shoulders. It ain't gonna have to be no karma for nobody. When God get him, he that's it. He gonna flatline. period, because he's becoming more and more evil. I don't even like him at all. Okay, and I sometimes I might be in my feelings, or maybe I should say, because I don't know him personally, I don't like what he's doing. I don't like what he's doing. It's one thing to be a hustler and make money. That's one thing. I can respect that. It's another thing when you are as grimy. And then he don't even do his dirty work. He mess up everybody else's life and they just willing to mess it up. And he be the only one winning. When with something, when black youngsters them all have to go do their time and stuff, he probably gonna be the only one out. Okay. And so everybody else's life is messed up. And he don't care. Okay. Let me just say that. Anyways, what was I? I was talking about something else. Oh, I got sidetracked on that because, I think this stuff has just got me. I take this stuff personally. I do. I'm talking about when you're talking about crime and the youth and how we've helped to for these people to line their pockets and stuff. And they don't care anything about the black community. And a lot of them come out of these same communities. It's sad. It really upsets me a lot. It really just upsets me a lot. Hold on for 1 minute, you guys. I'm trying to show y'all something. But I'm trying to download. It won't let me be great. I don't know why. Um Hold on. And then I know it's easy because, I was talking to somebody today and it was like, well, you just have to pray for people. Some of these people are so money hungry that when you start talking about praying, they laugh. Man, I made so much money. I ain't got time for that. They start laughing. To them, it's a game when they are destroying the black community. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm still trying to do something. And it's taking me a few minutes. That's it. I don't know why. I guess it's just taking a few minutes for it to um hold on, this one should do it. Because I want to show y'all something. Okay, here it is. Right here. Thank you, Miss Alma, for the $2.99 sticker. I appreciate that so much. Miss T, I guess we can all call him Finesse 3 times. He definitely, yeah, I hate Finesse did that. I do. I'm actually going to do a live. Well, I was going to do a live about it tonight, and I was like, I think I'm gonna wait until tomorrow, or I'm going to do a pre-recorded about it because I was really I still am. I can't take away from Finesse 2 times. Like his music is blazing. I just hate, like you said, he allowed them to finesse him because they started looking at how he was blazing. Um, maybe I thought he was signed with Mob Ties. So why did he need to go sign with Moneybagg? If he was signed to Mob Ties, why is everybody needing to get his money? Get money off of him. They see how hot he is. Okay. I think him signing with Moneybagg is probably a setup for him because it ain't been long since he's right. I think it's a setup. People were starting to see how Moneybagg did jack his style, and they was liking Finesse 2 times more because the Finesse has a, you could hear he's got a lot of heart, and I think, they might have wanted to sign Finesse, I hope Finesse don't start back getting into their battles, because see, people was really respecting Finesse outside of him being outside of them. I just don't, I just see them bringing a negative stigma or something. Um, I don't know. I definitely don't trust it. I don't really trust nothing they do. And I have to be honest. Right. But I don't really trust I was looking at what's the man's name? Jay Prince Jr. And Jay Prince Jr. is so arrogant. He's really arrogant, and that's another one that is gonna take God. See, when I start saying it's gonna take God, see, well, anyways, that's another one though. I don't trust him, and I'm talking about Jay Prince Jr. He's working with, of course, I think what him and CMG is trying to do is corner, especially the South. They're marketing the South, and when you have people like Young Dolph, um, that don't want to participate in that, their strategy is to take them out. But I'd be glad when God take them out, of the feds too. Okay. Um, Jay Prince Jr. is very arrogant. Um, and I can't hardly listen to his conversations because he's too arrogant for me. And I don't know. I feel, I don't feel good about um, this situation with Finesse 2 times signing with Moneybag. It's only to dim his shine. You could tell that Moneybag got his style from Finesse 2 times, but I'm gonna talk about all of that. I'm gonna do a video on that. Either we're gonna do a live on it. It's a lot I got to say about that, but I wanted to show y'all this. This happened tonight. And if her family is offering a $50,000 um reward, okay, that lets you know that her family already has money. And that's if I have to see more about it. That's if her husband ain't had nothing to do with it, and he probably didn't. Okay, but if her family is offering that type of money, you better know that they're probably rich, and the mayor and everybody is going to actively hunt them Negroes down until she got. Okay, she's related to a federal judge. Federal judges don't play, because I do investigative work for federal prosecutors, and those judges over there don't play. And then they said she's the granddaughter of a philanthropist. That means that she comes from a line of long money in Memphis. Okay, so and the FBI is involved, and they've gotten the FBI involved. But I guess more has to develop. I guess they have to make sure, because they took her car away. It looks like she was just jogging. They got to make sure that nobody was involved, because it seems to me the money runs in her family. You have to always eliminate the husband and stuff to make sure, because that didn't look like a thug. The dark colored SUV that pulled up, it didn't look like something that a thug would be driving. But of course, who knows what anybody would be driving? It doesn't necessarily have to be a thug, you know. And she goes jogging around that area. Now, that area is the Midtown area. Is definitely a area that has been gentrified, and the houses are through the roof. They're really overpriced now. So she goes at 4 a.m, which means it's still dark. She's a teacher over at the private school at St. Mary's. Yeah. So could it be retaliation for the judge sentence people? I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think they would be mad at the judge for the sentence. If they was going to be retaliate against anybody, it would probably be some of those prosecutors. Okay. I don't, but you never can tell though. I don't know. I live in that area. I'm right off of Central Avenue. Myself, I live by Chickasaw Gardens. All rich people live over there. Right. Um, he signed to Rap a Lot Records when he got out of jail. So his money going so many ways. He really ain't going to make money. Look something fishy. Yeah, it's a lot that I want to say about that Finesse 2 Times situation. It is, and I'm definitely we're gonna talk about that. I definitely don't trust it. Please be careful over there. Yeah. Memphis is off of the chain right now. It's sad, but it's true. Um, and I think because, so much attention, like, shoot, when they get through, I've been telling people, y'all need to get y'all sons because they are in rooms writing up laws to make sure that they go to jail and they don't ever get out. So it's maybe it's fun in games now, but it's not going to be in a minute. But it's time for it to start. As I was saying earlier, it has to start in the household. These people got to teach their sons and their daughters that crime don't pay. They got to have some morals, and they can't just go along to get along. You see something, get ready to go down. You involved in something because I mean I was younger, but I had a mind of my own. If I had an unsettling feeling about anything that was going get ready to go on, if I was with my cousins, and I'm not saying that they was out robbing people or whatever, but if I had an unsettling feeling, I tell them, y'all go drop me, y'all drop me off at home. I'm gone. Or I'm gone, or drop me off or let me out right here. I'm going home. That's something that people got to start instilling in their children. I don't want to go to that part of town. Go ahead, drop me off. But it's so many insecure kids. They're always trying to prove a point to somebody. People that don't even care nothing about them and don't really mean nothing. These are other people. They're trying to prove points to their little home boys and their little so-called road dogs, and they're doing anything for validation and for money. If you got some of these OGs that's dangling a little money over their head, more money than what they've ever had. And this ain't nothing that has just started. I have a friend that he is from out of Memphis, and I remember that he was telling me before he went on to, he was actually a rapper. But he was talking about when he was younger. He said we was 15, 14, 15, 16 years old over there in the Pepper Tree Apartments. And he said what the OGs would do is, he said we was so stupid, but we ain't had no guidance. Okay. And him going to Tall Trees, actually, I guess it kind of changed his life a little because he was able to get into the rap industry. But he said the OGs, he said they would tell us, look here. He said it would be me and a few of my other friends, and they would break into these people's apartments in the Pepper Tree. That's before it became the projects. And they would steal all of their stuff. He said we would be moving out TVs. He said we would be all of their valuables. That's what we would get when these people went to work. He said, and we would take it to the OGs. He said, and guess how much they gave us? I said, how much? He said they was giving us $20 to $25 a piece. But we ain't had nothing. We thought that was something. And we went and got they moved all their TVs and stuff out, stole all their TVs, all their values, all their jewelry, went through all their stuff, got all their good stuff. And we thought we was doing something because we ain't had nothing. It was back in the early 90s and stuff, late 80s. He said well, our backs would be hurting. and they would give us $20, $25, we'd be happy a piece. So this is not anything new. And the reason that came up too is because I was talking about, he actually called me, and I was talking about how, what the OGs are doing now. And he had to call and remind me. He said, I caught your vlog. I just happened to stumble across your vlog. And he said, I wanted to remind you, this is something that the OGs have been doing. He said, it's just that now, instead of burglarizing and sending the little dudes out to fight like they used to do us, what they're doing now is paying them to go kill people. So it is even more sadistic now. And that's exactly what they're doing. And the thing about it is a lot of these OGs came from an era where they know better. They know better. They did not come up in a time where, you did what they have these children, what they have a lot of these young adults doing now. Anytime you have somebody go kill somebody because you want to be the plug, you a sadistic MF. And you ain't gonna be the plug because the DEA say you ain't gonna be the plug. Okay, and hopefully they looking at my vlog. You're not gonna be the plug. Maybe they'll let you plug in federal prison. You might can be the plug there, but you're not gonna be the plug on the outside. Okay. And let me move away from that because I be getting mad when I talk about that. I try to stay away from stuff that get me in my feelings because I talk too much. Shada says, be careful over there. I'm really worrying about Flipper. But Miss T, they act and do stuff when they're not around parents. That's true. Some of them mimic parents' lifestyle. That's true too. It's getting worse because of mentally sickness and people not getting help they need. Sad though. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And since we're just vibing tonight, I'm gonna talk about this. We could talk about anything tonight, right? What happened was a lot of these, we had never even heard of like Ritalin and all those type of drugs. I forgot what they called it. What was it that they called they put the kids on Ritalin. ADH, it was ADD. It was first ADD. And then they changed it to ADHD. Okay. And so what they did was they started giving these children Ritalin with all of this high mercury in it. And parents was putting their children on, oh, he's hyper. They got into the teachers' heads, the guidance counselors and things of that nature. And, oh, he's hyper. He needs to be on Ritalin. When kids have always been hyper and bad. Okay. They've always been like that. So what they started doing was allowing the government to trick them into putting their kids on medicines that was eating away that had so much mercury in it that it was eating away at their brain cells. Okay, those are the types of games that they play for a check. And so what they did was they targeted the poor single mothers. Anytime you got the government saying, because in the beginning it was $500, okay? In the beginning it was $500. You got mothers that are already on AFDC or whatever, and they're already struggling. They don't know the plan of the government. It's the same thing that the government did to the Indians when they gave them those blankets back in many moons ago. And it gave them smallpox or whatever. Okay, you have to make them think that's the strategy. You have to make them think you helping them, right? That's a strategy of a predator. Okay, and so anyways, they targeted the single mothers. They started out giving them $500 per child if they would put them on that medicine, the Ritalin or whatever it was. So to a lot of the single mothers, they was like, that's extra income for me, they tell their children go to school and act crazy, make them think you crazy. This is what was going on. And pretty soon, if she had 5 kids, she saw it where I could be getting 5 checks each for $500 extra. All my kids got to do is act crazy. I know they ain't crazy, but they putting them on that medicine. After about 18, she can't get the check no more. And now you got a fool on your hand for real because his brain messed up. This is what they've been doing to the Black community. And you got Negroes who can't do, okay, because I'm getting ahead of myself. When I get to talking about this, I get extremely emotional because I've seen this, I've been knowing what was going on. Okay. And so now, when, their mother is not obligated, because anytime you put your kids on medicine and then they test the child to make sure that the medication is in their blood, is something wrong with that in order for her to continuously get the check. Okay. You got to make sure your child is taking his medicine. It is a $1 billion business. And I think I've spoken about this before. You even had them, the pharmaceutical companies even started going to the churches. You can't even go to the church and get counseled no more because a lot of the ministers now are like licensed counselors, or they started going back, getting their degrees, becoming a psychotherapist or whatever was needed to be able to write out a prescription because they had a contract with the pharmaceutical company. I told y'all when my grandmother passed away, I was so distraught. Okay. I blocked it out until the end of the year. Christmas time was her favorite time of the year. I blocked it out. And then I almost had like a breakdown. Okay. When I realized she died in March of that year, and I kind of blocked it out until about December of that year. And then when I realized, I was like, dog, because I called her mama too. I said, Mama, I ain't gonna even be here for Christmas. I had like a breakdown, right? Because it hit me like she ain't coming back for real. And so somebody told me, they was like, there's this, my church, a friend of mine, I was working at the sheriff's office. She was like, my pastor is a counselor. He does grief sessions and things of that nature. Maybe you should get you some counseling. And I said, maybe you're right, and I thought it would be okay because I was like, it would be more like spiritual counseling because I didn't want to go sit at no psychiatrist, although some of these folks need the psychiatrist though. If you need one, go sit at one. Go to the crazy house too if you need to, the lakeside. Okay. It ain't nothing wrong with that. And so that's if you need it. But I went to the pastor and I started getting grief counseling, and I would never forget. I thought that because I'm very guarded, right? I'm very guarded with a lot of stuff, especially like deep stuff. I tell people what I want them to know, but I'm very guarded on a lot of stuff. And so I remember I was like, well, maybe I can trust them a little bit because I was able to talk about my grandmother. And it seems like that it was working, remembering my grandma, right? And I'll never forget one time I went to my session and his voice changed. I'll never forget. He said, have you ever thought of suicide? Have you ever had suicidal thoughts? And I started looking up in the ceiling. I'm like, no, because I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. You never had suicidal thoughts. I mean, he didn't sound like the caring pastor that I was getting comfortable with. He sounded like somebody in an infomercial, and I'm serious. His voice just completely changed. He started fast talking. You sure you've never had any suicidal thoughts? I said, no. How you know you've never had any suicidal thoughts? I mean, he sounded like somebody out of an infomercial. I'm serious. He didn't sound like the pastor that was preaching, and that was the counselor, the spiritual counselor. His voice changed on me. He said, I think you need to let me prescribe you some medicine. I said, I don't need no medicine. How you know you are having suicidal thoughts? I said, because I know I'm not. He said, in order for you to say that you're not, that means that you have thought about it. I mean, that's how he was talking to me. His voice changed like that of a person in an infomercial. I'm going to prescribe you some medicine. I'm going to send you to a psychiatrist. I found out later. I said, I'm not going to no psychiatrist, and you ain't giving me no medicine. Because, see, I'll cut up on somebody when I feel like they're trying to force something on me. He said, calm down, calm down. See, you're getting irate. That's how I know you need that medicine. These are the games that they play on people. I said, let me get up out of here before I give him a strong right hook. I'm going to hit this nigga. Because, see, I came out the hood. I don't play games like that. Because, see, I knew what he was trying to do. He wasn't going to get me hooked on no medicine. But those are the types of, I found out later, like a lot of pastors and stuff got contracts with these psychiatrists and these pharmaceutical companies, and they push these drugs. Miss Shada, I'm serious. I was gonna hit him. I have to be careful because I don't like for people to try to violate me like that, because I will. Okay. But that's the type of stuff that they do. And you think about people that are unsuspecting, like, and even with me, I was in my 30s. And he tried to get me hooked on something. My friend, bless her little heart, she called me. She said, Pastor told me he tried to help you. Girl, I'm going to tell you something. You should have took it. He wouldn't do nothing to hurt you. He prescribed my medicine. I said, that's why you be out all the time, because sometimes she would be just drowsy and droggy and stuff all the time. And he thought he was going to get me hooked. Okay? Because she had lost her mama and was stressed out. Instead of him being a spiritual counselor, he wanted to drug her up. And she went for it. I didn't. Okay? But this is the type of stuff that they're doing. And the medication have so much mercury in it, it just start eating at your brain, and then you become hooked on it. That's why so many people have psychological issues now. I even think that they're weaponizing the vaccinations. They're giving these kids. When we went to school, we didn't have to take that many vaccinations. They give these kids all types of vaccinations now, and it's weaponized. Whatever it is, they feel that it is necessary. That's why you don't see a lot of foreigners when they come over here. They'll use their religion and say, my kids can't take their vaccination. And you never see them catching the diseases that they claim they're going to catch if they don't take it. They don't, but they'll let them know in a minute, because of my religion, we don't believe in that. You're not going to vaccinate my child. And they go on to be some of the smartest. Okay. As a matter of fact, they be too smart. That's why these brain dead Negroes go to them for hacking. Right. And then they end up doing the time. They flee back to their country. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes they try to plant that in people's heads. So I fell into a little depression because my BP stressed me out. Now I drink lemon juice and walk and changed what I eat. Meds are not the answer. I'm telling you, it's not. And some people, when people say, well, this person got to have their medicine, they probably do have to have it now. Because once they mess you up with it, you can't function. Some of these people be a stone, they act a stone nut if they don't have it. They gotta have it. The money is in the medicine. I've been saying that. The money is in the medicine. Okay. Yeah, I don't see other countries, dying of cancer like they do in the United States. I told y'all Reverend Al Green. Reverend Al Green was looking at my TV show. I told y'all some years back, and he invited me. He called me because I put my phone number on for my show. I'm talking about my TV show, and he called. He invited me to his church and stuff, and I started going from time to time to his church, and I noticed that he stopped being there. He was allowing his assistant pastor to do the preaching. So I guess everybody thought, Reverend Al Green must have been on tour. So about a month or so after I went, 2 months later, I went and he was there. And he was like, I got a testimony. I know people want to know where I've been, because when he's not there, people just automatically feel like he's on tour, because Reverend Al Green will still go take tour dates. And he said, but I want y'all to know that I went to the doctor here in Memphis and they told me that I had cancer. He said, so I had been going over to, I believe he said Spain or Mexico. He might have said Mexico. I've been going over to Mexico and getting treatment. He said, I got a testimony. I don't have the cancer anymore. So you don't see other countries. In other countries, you can go over there probably if you got the money and get treated, because they are not trying to kill off their people with cancer. Okay. The money is in the medicine. The United States is capitalizing off of making us sick. They're weaponizing the food and everything else. So I can't understand why we are so against each other when we really have a bigger demon that we need to fight, and that is making sure we're putting the right people into office, because a lot of these politicians, these pharmaceutical companies, when you see them and they're running and they're able to be all over the TV, it's because there is a machine behind them with a lot of money. And a lot of times they'll go to these pharmaceutical companies and say, listen, I will pass this drug. I will make sure that we do this, and that. But if you'll put the money behind me, these pharmaceutical companies are billionaires. So you start seeing them all over the TV. Anybody, they understand whoever controls the media runs the world, right? That's why I get so mad when I see a lot of, you're on YouTube, okay, and you see a lot of this propaganda, and it's not true, when this is a form of media where you can tell the truth. That's why I don't deviate from the truth. And I don't. And they're spreading a lot of propaganda on here. That's why you see them trying to attack me. I've been filing police reports left and right on these Negroes, okay, and going to the FBI on them. I ain't been playing with them, because I understand what they are trying to do and putting the FBI on them. Some of them have machines behind them. They want to push an agenda. And because they understand, especially with this Young Dogs case, that I got inside information, okay, that I don't even put out here, because I'm not messy and I'm not going to ruin a case. I'm not out here investigating the Dogs case. I just happen to know some of the people that know what has happened in the Dogs case. Okay. So if I get on here and I don't steer away from what I know is true, I kind of stand firm on stuff, and they know I know, that's a threat to them. They have an issue with that, because it people gonna start looking at some of what these people saying, go, well, that couldn't be true. She would know. And so that causes attacks. And it causes me to go file reports with the FBI. Okay. And I think it's a shame that our people are doing that, but that's what they do in the main media. With CNN, you can't get CNN to talk about what these pharmaceutical companies are doing. You know why they're not going to do it? Because every time you look at CNN and they go to break, what do you see? A pharmaceutical company promoting some type of drug. These pharmaceutical companies keep their production companies on air. They pay them millions of dollars, so they're not going to talk bad about the pharmaceutical companies. They're not going to let a herbal person come on there, herb doctor or whatever, come on there and promote herbs that could help you with your sicknesses. They're not going to do that, because some pharmaceutical companies have bought out the media. Okay. So when you see a lot of these politicians and they just pop up from out of nowhere, like Obama. Okay. And I was proud of Obama. He was a black man. I voted for him simply because he was black, especially the first time. I didn't really start finding out about Obama and them until the second time, but I still voted for him, because, we got that habit of voting for folks just because they black. Okay. But they have a machine behind them, and they have to push their agenda. Okay. and they have the people to make them likable. Okay, they have a media team, and they have people behind them to make them likable, to make them look good, to scrub everything on the internet, scrub every police report that may have been filed on them, or at least to try to make it go away. Okay. And people fall in love with an image, and then we'll go elect a shark in a minute, and it's a sharky person, all because they made them look good in the media, and i.e. Bill Clinton. You had black people walking around here talking about Bill Clinton was our first black president because he played a darn saxophone, and he put more black men in jail that there ever was. Him and Biden and some more people, along with some, they went and got some cuckabug head pastors and paid them, and they helped to create that three strikes bill that's got black men in jail right now for life on misdemeanors that could be out and be productive to their families. But they was actually targeting the ones that was selling drugs, okay? Because Bill Clinton's brother was one of the biggest drug dealers at the time in Little Rock, and he was just trying to get rid of his competition. So they was putting all these drug dealers in jail for life that could actually be out right now. No black man should be in jail at this point for drugs, especially selling weed, since they made it legal. All of that's supposed to be overturned. How come Biden ain't did that? He helped to create that bill. He's even been the vice president. That should have been the first thing he did, to let some of those black men out on that went to jail on that three strikes bill, whereas they are in jail on misdemeanors. But they went 3 times. Okay. Why don't they reverse that? He did that. Now he the highest official in the land in the United States. He can really do it now. He did it. But that's the power of the media. They made us think that Bill Clinton was really for us because he raised the welfare checks. My welfare check went up when Bill Clinton was the president. See, they feel like as long as they give us welfare and all of that, that'll shut the black folks up, and then they can really cause all types of destruction. They're not going to tell you how you can go and own some of them beauty supply stores that's in our communities, because we're supposed to be owning them anyways. They're in our communities. But these Asians don't come over here rich. They come over here and they get grants, and they open up beauty supply stores, and they post up in our communities and hijack them. You can't get and I don't mean no harm, but you can't get an Asian to patronize a black business. You can't get them to do it. I was in a nail shop a while back, an Asian nail shop. Okay, now I try to go to, I'm real picky to black girls that do nails, because they be wanting to do nails. I don't do no toes. Okay, well, you're gonna have to learn how to do toes if you want me to come up in here. Okay, well, our people got to do better too. Okay, but so it was a young lady in there getting her nails done, and her daughter was in elementary school. She was selling candy. And for school, and she was trying to get, she was telling the agents, because I guess she came in there often. No, we got somebody we buy candy from. They wouldn't even buy no candy from the child, even though she was a regular in their supplies, in their nail shop. They would not even buy candy. Those chocolate candy bars, those almond bars that we used to sell during school. She couldn't even get them, none of them, up in there. They said they had somebody they bought that from. So you already know it had to have been another Asian person and not a black person. But it was nothing but black people in there getting their nails done, because I've never really seen white people in an Asian nail shop. Not hardly. Okay. But like I say, black people we're so against each other. that slave mentality that it's so easy for us to be pitted against each other. Right now, instead of somebody, um, trying to people get so focused on what somebody else is doing in our community. She gonna do shit. We got to find a way to murder her. That's the reason why I went to the FBI. These people are grimy on here. They be if these men have gotten together before to try to put hits on women because they was deviating from whatever content they wanted them to put out. It ain't above them to do it. They hacking now. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to blow my nose. They really don't trust or like us for real. Poor shit, Asia. They build their shit up, and we're looking for it. Right. We're the only people that don't build up our community. As soon as somebody is gaining traction, I can't understand like some of the same people that be on here talking about they for Dolph. They do some of the same stuff that the people that did the people did to Dolph. They would try and put a hit out on another vlogger, which is why I always tell vloggers to go to the FBI and report them and get them on file and stuff. And file police reports. Okay. And get them to looking into that stuff. Our community is our people need some repair. Our people sick. We can never come out of Babylon because we're so busy being crabs in a bucket. You got somebody like Dolph that had learned the recipe and did not mind sharing the recipe and was trying to build other millionaires. That was his goal. And you had a bunch of cuckabug head Negroes that lined him up to help to line him up. Was the main ones jealous of him and take him out because they wanted to be the plug. And then they wanted to corner the market as far as the rap industry. And it's not going to work out for him in the end because God ain't going to let it happen. You have to reap what you sow. And the reason why I say it ain't going to work out, people get mad at a vlogger on YouTube ain't got nothing to do with that investigation. That investigation, them folks know everything that is happening, all the players that was in it. And it ain't got nothing to do with a vlogger. It ain't got nothing to do with me or nobody else. It's got everything to do with the brilliant work of the FBI, the DEA, and the Memphis homicide investigators, and whoever else they got working with them, the ATF or whoever else. It's got everything to do with them. Memphis Police Department has a lot of different task force. Also, you're talking about the auto theft task force, you got organized crime unit, you got vice and narcotic, they got all kinds of task force, the FBI task force that work directly with the FBI. You got all of that. And you got all these people that was on Dolph's case. You see how early on they've gotten the FBI on this case with this woman. That's why I say the thing I like about CJ Davis is she immediately involves the FBI. And it helps them early on. And that's the exact same thing that has happened with the Dolph's case. So regardless to what I say or don't say, it ain't going to change nothing because they already know. Okay. But you have a bunch of our people lining up other people within our community that they feel is making it to try and take them out because they think it's going to help them. Okay. And it's not going to. The same way on YouTube, it's not going to work out for them. It's not going to. Because too many people have been and still is being victimized on YouTube. And these lawsuits, Google ain't going to take too kind to these lawsuits because I got a pit bull. And so what Google gonna have to do is explain why is it okay for predators to post up on Google and YouTube and victimize women and harass women, and then they're breaching their security and their privacy, and they have posted up and paying the predators. Why is that okay? My attorney want to know that, and those women groups that I work with want to know that. And we ain't going nowhere. We multiplying. Because we as women want to know, why is it okay for these men to do this? Nobody should be harassed just because they have their own opinion. Okay? Nobody. Or because of what they know or don't know. Nobody. Okay? And I ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere until Google is able to give us an answer. The FBI want to know at this point. Well, why is it? Is it a leak in their workers? Is that what's going on? Now they're involved, and it makes me feel good because I love when the FBI get involved. Okay, because hacking is a federal crime. But this is the type of stuff that our community does. If you gonna be great and you gonna surpass me, I'm gonna do all I can to try to take you out. And that's the reason why the Black community is not progressing, because of our own people. And then that cycle it's like a generational curse. Their children are looking right at them. That's why I've always allowed my kids to see me when another woman was doing good, or somebody, you'll hear me say in a minute, "Oh, girl, you doing a good job." I don't have a problem with giving people their accolades because I understand what's for me, a devil in hell can't stop it. What's for somebody else, I can't stop it. So it wouldn't be no need in me being jealous of it because I have my own path in life. That's the one thing, that's one of the things that I love about myself, is that I understand that I am here on a journey, and my journey I might intersect with people from time to time, but it's definitely different. Everybody's journey is different. So it ain't no need in me wasting my time being jealous of somebody else, because our journeys are different. I'm here on a mission. So that's why when those devils was violating me, and I hate that I have to do what I'm doing. Okay? I just kept going because I understand that there is a journey. I'm on a journey. And one thing we do know about devils, they defeated in the end. Okay? They fall off because they have to fall off because they're going to be in prison. But I think it's sad when you have Black men that allow other communities to put a battery in their back also, to come up against their Black women. And then a lot of these Black men just don't like women anyway. Y'all don't listen. I don't listen. Okay. I don't want y'all to take this personal, what I'm getting ready to say. Okay. Don't take it personal. But you got a lot of Black men that don't like Black women. And so they try to cause any attack or any type of pain on them that they possibly can. And it always backfires on them. And then they want to, you know, they always want to stand on their soapbox and try to get people to feel sorry for them. Okay. But they don't like Black women because they sucking more dick than any woman could. And it ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what they want, because I feel like a person should be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. I don't have any issues with the LGBTQ community at all. But live your truth and stop violating these women. Okay? And you have a lot of people that try to cause pain on women because they can't live their truth. Okay. And I think that's sad. Live your truth and be a free person, because we women are not going to continuously allow a bunch of abusive men to violate us. There are laws against that. I work with women all the time. I know the laws. Okay. Mine too, Miss Shada. Mine too. Could be the reason why I ain't got no husband. Cause ain't number food going in mine either. Okay. Hey, player Cole. So, anyways, y'all, we just talking tonight. We just kind of vibing. We didn't have no specific topic. We just kind of vibing. But I hope that the young lady that I was showing, I hope that I pray that her family, I hope that she's found. That's my prayer. Shout out to Player Code Street Politics. I'm gonna have Player Code on here tomorrow night. Y'all know Player Code knows he knows Finesse 2 times personally. So I'm gonna have him on here to Player Code. Will you be on my show tomorrow to talk about Finesse 2 times? What you think about the situation? I think he did a video on it. Finesse is North Memphis, right? I think Finesse is North Memphis. Is Finesse North Memphis? He came from around the area you grew up in, right? Thank you, Miss Shada. Yeah, he did a live on Finesse 2 times today. Y'all go check that out. He knows Finesse 2 times personally. I think Finesse is blazing. Who else does Player Co knows personally that was around the area? Uh he knows, but I be dunking on them all the time. I know God in them came from around the area. He knows Big Boogie. I think God in them from North Memphis. I think Finesse is from North Memphis. Yeah, Player Co knows Big Boogie and Lil Migos personally. I be talking about Lil Migos too, child. I be getting mad at I be talking about Lil Migos. Y'all know I don't miss Big Boogie now. I haven't heard Big Boogie say anything about Young Dog. I don't think Big Boogie had an issue with Young Dog. I think he was cool with Young Dog. Criminal Main and DJ, yeah, DJ Squeaky did all of Dolph's beats. He produced the majority of Dolph beats. DJ Squeaky did. I don't know Criminal Man. Lamigo stole the bullets. Monica said Lamigo stole the bullets. But I have to give it to Player Co. Now he's fair. He even though he know these people personally, he be fair on what you know on what he say. I'm very biased now. I am. I'm very biased. Um, Kawana Maxie, Joy Loves God. Y'all, y'all hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. If Player Co said Boogie ain't on that, I'm gonna tell y'all something. My cousin who is related to Dolph on her mother's side, it loves Big Boogie. And we was talking maybe about a week or so ago. She was talking about Big Boogie. They like Big Boogie. I think Big Boogie was cool with Dolph though. He don't say anything about him because I'm sure but he hadn't said anything bad about him. Oh, let's see. I hope now, because I know some of those, some of these label heads be lurking on these vlogs. I'm sitting up saying, Big Boogie had not said anything about Dolph. I hope they don't go and make him, um, do a diss record. But these people got to be, they got to have their own minds. Player Coach said he was gonna sign to Dolph, but he went to CMG instead. Yeah, I remember somebody saying that he was supposed to sign to Young Dolph, and then once Gotti found out that Dolph was recruiting Big Boogie heavily, he was he well once Gotti found out that he was going to sign to Pre, he started recruiting him heavily. Probably went and offered him a little bit more money. So it seemed like it might have been a spite thing. Who knows? Question, Miss T, why they didn't just let Dolph help them move up like he did? I can't understand. I don't know. A lot of times when these people are already in contracts and they can't get out, the only way that they can make money is to do it like they are doing it now. Okay. And that is to sign other artists and make them into slaves. Okay. Because they got those 360 deals where they probably got 30, 40-year contracts. They couldn't get out if they tried. So that's the only way that they can do it. Yo Gotti not happy. I don't think he didn't shot love yet. Finesse love yet. Or show finesse love yet. I know. He might not have shown him love yet, but I bet he was in on that. Cause see, whoever is signed to Brett Gang he's going to get some money off of it too. Because Brett Gang and Moneybagg Yo is still up under him. So finesse is, I just I'm gonna do a video on that though. But as rich as the culture is in Memphis, okay, and I know some people be saying, but dog, you be hard on them. I just think that what they did was tasteless as far as how they've trolled off or whatever. It's not up to me to say that they had anything to do with it because I'm not the district attorney nor am I the Memphis police investigator. Okay, that's on the case. But I just think with some of the trolling that has been done, I just think that it's tasteless. It was messed up on so many levels. It's just distasteful. Okay. And that's why I say for some of these people, God definitely has to, because they don't really care about anybody getting on here saying anything about them. That it's laughable. That's why I say, when God get them, and God works through different people. Okay, whether it is the FBI, the DEA, the MPD, whoever. That's why I always say, and this has been in my spirit as it relates to a lot of people. God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. That's the word of God. So they already know that they're going to get it back, and God's going to let you see them. God's going to allow Dolph's family to see the get back for whoever was involved in doing this to him. Very much so me either, but they did allegedly. How many artists? What'd you say? Rest in peace, Young Dolph. You said YWYM. How many artists? Got it probably scared 2 times, won't take no. I think, you know what? I don't think they scared of him. I think they lining him up. I mean, I personally believe that. I don't know though. He's a very vocal person. He can't be controlled. So uh, I just don't trust what happened. I pray there are more arrests in Dolphins case before the 1 year mark. Mm, yeah, I think your prayer is gonna come true, Monica. Um, yes, I'm sorry. It's all good. Hey, hey, Demakra, I didn't see you in here. Uh, yes, I believe that too. Joel Scott said, yes, I believe that too. Rest in peace, young dog. Retype what you just posted because I didn't really understand it. And then y'all know I don't a lot of these abbreviations. I don't I you know um yeah. So what y'all think? I want to know what y'all think about. I mean, what he meant. Did he mean how many artists Dolph got or what? Player Code says WYM means what you mean. I'm gonna tell y'all something. One of the things in my when I in my training is that they teach investigators is to never abbreviate. I never do any abbreviations. We always have to write out everything because when people are in court and say y'all don't know, attorneys play so many tricks. Okay, so I that's why I tell people please don't abbreviate. They'll play a trick in a minute and say it's something else. I'm just looking at my phone. Let's see what we gotta make me see a PowerPoint with the text lingo. Okay. Yes, y'all gotta make me a PowerPoint with the text lingo, child. When my kids be saying stuff sometimes, I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? My oldest daughter be always saying, Mom, I'm getting ready to make you hip. Mama, sit down, Mom. I'm getting ready to make you hip. I'm like, girl, please. Girl, please go on somewhere. Yep. Hold on, y'all. Let me see some. She said she want a Dolph backpack. Lord have mercy. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back. What that does sound good for Quando. Y'all see Young Boy and Quando going on tour? No, I didn't see that. But I'm happy to know that Quando is going on tour. Make sure they have a lot of security and stuff with them. Yeah, make sure they have a lot of security so that they can hold on, y'all. I'm looking at something. Okay, I'm back. Where's the tribute song for Dolph with all his artists? I'm still waiting for all of them to come together and give money to his kids. Mm, I want one of those pillows. Chicago is the first stop. They're being asked not to come to Chicago. Oh my God. So is Chicago the first stop for Quando and NBA Youngboy? I don't think that would be a good idea. Yeah, I don't think they should go to Chicago. They said Mayweather is going to be with them. I don't think that's a good idea for them to go to Chicago. Not at this point. Hey, D-Mom. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea at this point. Because I think Chicago is it Chicago that has an issue with Young Boy and Quando right now? Monica, is it Chicago that has an issue with Quando and Young Boy? Wow. Okay. And then Monica says, Monica, you sound like Mayweather might be a part of the security. It's a lot of people got a lot of respect for Mayweather, though. I'm glad that he's going on tour so that he can make money. I just think that I don't think that going to Chicago would be good for him, for neither one of them. Y'all saw 600 Breezy said God didn't want Von to be in the O Block Rico. Why he died, he was okay in the car on the way to the hospital. I said, what? 600 Breezy said that? He said 600 Breezy said, y'all saw 600 Breezy said God didn't want Von to be in the O Block Rico. While he died, he was okay in the car on the way to the hospital. I said, Lord have mercy. Mm. You know, looking at that video of when Von was shot, it was very disturbing to me. I know they was trying to, get him and get him help and stuff, but I mean, they was dragging him like he was a little rag doll. They was overly excited. It was really sad. His body was really just kind of limped in. She said, all I said was he gonna be there. Yeah, a lot of people got a lot of respect for Floyd Mayweather. I think that Floyd Mayweather is gonna be there, maybe to just show his support. Joy loves God. That's why I said that doesn't sound good for Quando. Shada says, Miss T, I cried thinking about Dolph. Was thinking when he was seen with all betrayed him. Dirk is too well known. Me neither. There's not enough coverage right now. Who shot Von first, though? Yes, he said, I don't know. Was he being funny or what he said? Von would have been the head. And if I'm not mistaken, was Breezy there when Von got shot? Y'all, was Breezy there when Von got shot? I don't know. Does anybody know if Breezy was there? It's too much animosity for them in Chicago. They need to skip Chicago. They said Von last words were, why y'all crying? Y'all let them do this to me. I hope didn't none of Von people do nothing to him. But it ain't looking good. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, 600 did that interview with Vlad. They never should have happened. Yeah, 600 Breezy did an interview with Vlad. Rest in peace, Young Dog. Say, y'all think Bad gave Finesse over $500,000? I'm gonna tell y'all something. With the way Finesse is blazing, if they had gave him 5 million, it wouldn't have been worth what he could go make on his own. It's still it still wouldn't compare to how Finesse is blazing right now. And there's too many people got contracts on him. Yeah, I did. I changed it from circle to swear. Um, they stopped Boss Top from having a concert, so I can't imagine the city letting Young Boy come to Chicago. People say it's always the people closest to you. Yeah, but it wasn't the people that was closest to Dolph though, Miss Shada. It none of Dolph artists had anything to do with him being killed. None of his artists did. None of his family members did. It was a history of some of the same people. 600 Breezy said Tim did what I would have wanted my folks to do for me if I was in. Right. I heard 600 Breezy say that. He was like, he didn't feel like Quando and them did nothing wrong. It makes, I don't know if 600 Breezy really liked Von. And I'm going to say, because 600 Breezy was going at China. What was Von's girlfriend name? China Doll? Uh, Asian Doll? He was kind of arguing when Asian Doll and Von was broken up. 600 Breezy and Asian Doll was arguing back and forth on um Instagram, and Von asked him to stop going at China. He said, don't go back and forth with her. I got it. Oh, you talking about 2 times? Okay, Miss Shada. Yeah, he signed to Moneybag, but Von manager shot him first. Wow. Hmm. Monica's an Asian doll for the street. She everybody girlfriend. Demon said, Monica, that's so true. Y'all, please hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. Um, y'all think Kanye crazy for real, or is he acting? Kanye had another breakdown? I think they did something to Kanye. I don't think he acting. I think they did something to Kanye. I think Kanye started declining mentally when something happened to his mom, and then Jay-Z and Beyonce did a number on him. And when Kim Kardashian got with him, she finished him. I'm telling I'm telling the truth. Like I said, I think he started declining when his mom was when his mom died. Then Jay-Z had him doing all his dirty work, and he started doing it too much. And listen, Rico said Kanye is a Gemini. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Rico, I would hate to believe that a Gemini acts like that. My mom is a Gemini. Lord have mercy. Rico said ain't nothing wrong with him. I guess that's normal behavior for a Gemini. Rico done tickled me. Rico, it seems like something wrong with him now. I hate to believe that's normal behavior for a Gemini. My mom is a Gemini. Um, let's see. His mom died from plastic surgery. Yes. Um, yes, Miss Donda. Like I said, now he started declining when his mom, died. Jay-Z and Beyonce did a number on him because they started rejecting him. Because remember now, Jay-Z had him doing a lot of his dirty work. Okay. And then I think Kanye started going overboard. And then when the Kardashians got him being true to who they are, they finished him. They finished off every successful man. I don't know why everybody be want to get with him. Let's see. Kanye saying he not gonna let Kim put his kids on Playboy. Well, he's saying that for a reason now. Now he ain't crazy for saying that because look at what it's a history of that. Look at what Kris Jenner did to Kim. It's a history of that. Um, I thought Jay-Z backed off when he started dating Kim K. And I don't know if I think he had started backing off before then. Kanye's eccentric. Yeah, welcome to Hollywood. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That movie Get Out, I think that there's a lot of truth in that movie. I think that Kris Jenner and them put Kanye and Lamar Odom. Lamar was on his way to success. Like he was like second in line as far as Kobe. He was like the second star. And when he got with Chloe, he went downhill. I'm telling you, them women got a curse on them. Gregory says Finesse said he got mental issues, cuts on himself. Finesse said that. Finesse 2 times said he cut on himself. What interview he say that in? Bands tape Boys in the Hood dropping 2 weeks with Woo, and he got his solo tape coming. Yay! I'm gonna put that up there. Y'all make sure y'all go run Snoop Bands and paper route Woo up. Run them up all the way up until you can't run them up no more. That's what Doc said. Um. Oh yeah, that's right. And Bruce Jenner, but I think Bruce Jenner had always wanted to be a woman, and Chris knew it. She just wanted his money. I agree with you, Democra. It was the curse of the poo nanny. They ain't the only women out here with good, you know. They put a spell on those men, and it wasn't their woe out poo nanny because it's woe out. They done had everybody in Hollywood. it was that voodoo. That's why you have to stay prayed up, because these folks out here putting curses on people. So that's why you have to stay prayed up, so you can reverse every curse of every witch, every hexer, and they mess around and have a stroke and croak out. When you out here trying to put curses on people because somebody else wants you to do it, or if somebody ain't never did nothing to you because you jealous or whatever, um, that stuff has to backfire on you. Monica says, I swear Memphis people are weird. Finesse said he jumped from a 2-story balcony. Oh God. Oh, Lord have mercy. How does that work with the supposed contract between Finesse and Jay Prince Jr.? What? Did he just let him out of the contract? I'm confused about that too. I saw Player Co on here. Is Player Co still on here? Maybe he can explain, because I'm trying to figure out it, because it seems like to me that they trying to pimp the dude, and I'm serious. That's what it seems, because they know he is hot, and Finesse 2 times been sitting in jail, so he's another Tupac. He wrote all those songs. All he had to do was think of songs. Like, he was sitting on live the other day, and he was rapping some stuff right off the top of his head, you know. So I'm gonna pray for Finesse 2 times, because I don't think that this is gonna end up good. Monica said Finesse about to start having surgery so he can be a bad B like Moneybag. He signed to Jay Prince Jr. and Moneybag Gotti don't get a percentage because Bag ain't merged deal with CMG. How youngster do his artists? I agree with you. I thought they said that he signed to Jay Prince Jr. Right. That's what they were saying. He was signed to Jay Prince Jr. He at one point felt like Moneybag Yo stole his sound. Not sure why he signed with someone that he felt a way about. Yeah, he said that, and it's kind of obvious that Moneybag did steal his sound. If he stole his sound, what he think he can get ready to steal from him now? He really gonna screw him royally. What he did was he keeping Finesse 2 times up under his thumb, so he can't surpass him, because he was definitely about to do that, and people was, but I'm gonna talk about that. Finesse is signed to Jay Prince Jr., but they doing a partnership with Bread Gang. It's labeled Finesse Gang and Mob Ties. Mm. I hope Finesse 2 times don't get over there taking on the beef and issues of them folks, because they um Shada says I don't trust that. Um and Big 30 not even cool with Finesse. I never thought this would happen. I think they are trying to make them a duo. They all want to eat off Finesse because he's hot. I absolutely agree, Demon. I agree. I absolutely agree. 2 Times should have went independent. He got the talent, the music, the sound. He got it to do all that. Yeah, if y'all haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out, though. It's gonna be extremely interesting. Y'all, I only got 59 likes. Y'all, please get the likes up. Please hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. A player coach says he getting 30 racks a show. He ain't hurting and he got 60 shows booked. Monica said if he's getting that much a show, why he signed with Bad? Right. Why sign with someone that you have a problem with? And is Moneybag them getting any of his money? He said to get a bigger bag. Watch he go be 100K. Everybody saying it's good for Memphis. Mm, I agree, Monica. Doc was good for Memphis. Demon says all money ain't good money. Got to watch the people around you. I personally don't feel that their intentions are good for Finesse. Finesse is too strong of a person, and then he's blazing. Okay, he signed with money. He signed with money, so he doesn't put a bag on his head. Mm. Y'all, please hit that like button. The moment they try to sun finesse, it's going. Demon says the moment they try to sun finesse, it's not going to go well. Not unless finesse just completely turned into a slave. 2 times heart been over there. That's why he signed with Bag. Yep, I have seen his boys posting slick stuff. I hope it ain't at him. You seen who boys posting slick stuff? I said as soon as he link up with Bag, watch how they switch on him. Y'all think some of finesse 2 times people switched on him? Monica. Um I one said I will never fake kick it. Dog killers and everybody involved in his demise being arrested and convicted is good for Memphis. I agree. Hope they don't murk him. This is why I don't roll with fake stuff. People too wishy washy and don't stay true to their self. That's true. Hope they don't murk him. I said, don't tell me he talking about finesse. Playco, you think his people have turned on some of his people have turned on him? But a lot of people around Dolph getting cases. Snoop on probation now. And Clayco. Mm. All Clayco says they knew this was in the works. Okay. D-Mon said finesse so hot he could have gotten with a major label. Finesse is blazing. I just don't think that dealing with them was good because people was really messing with him because he was not dealing with them. Is it true 3 times brother sing with CMG or is it signed with CMG? It's 2 times brother signed with CMG. I'm pro pre and I'm hella biased. Y'all know Dolph B the Fed case, whole hood got indicted. Two time. Mm. Oh yeah, Key Glock is blazing. Key Glock is blazing for real. Monica said Key Glock is hotter than fish grease. Yes, he is blazing. I'm Dolph forever for life. Dolph talked about that in the song One Hell of a Life. At Rest in Peace, Young Dolph. I know Finesse brother said he not Finesse gang no more. Oh wow. Y'all, please hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely please subscribe to the channel. Y'all, hold on one second. I'm checking something out. Something ain't right. Mm. He did it live saying how Finesse best friend gonna tell him he not Finesse gang. Matter of fact, Finesse gang, I said, man, his bro's on some hot shit. That's why he ain't Finesse gang no more. Moneybag owes him. I'd rather see Finesse stay independent than sign with F niggas. Um, I'm all about unity. I just don't trust anything that Moneybag Yo and CML. And see, I don't think people want for Moneybag Yo and Finesse to be into it. I think everybody's concern is they don't trust it. They don't really trust what they're doing as far as Finesse is concerned. Finesse seemed like a solid person. You know, we already know the others is questionable. Okay. So I think people are just kind of concerned about the motives and, and all of that. All right, you guys, we've been on here almost 2 hours. I said I was not going to be on here 3 or 4 hours. Shada says, I think that they are secretly plotting on him. Mm. All right, you guys, we've been on here almost 2 hours. I'm going to get off of here. If NBA Youngboy wins the bread game, everybody going to hate him too. You probably right, player call. Oh Lord Jesus. I mean, I gotta be honest now. Um Miss Shada, yeah, Miss Shada says, I think they is secretly plotting on him. Is it Shada or Sade? It's Sade. Is it Sade? That won't ever happen. Player coach said the internet or MF. Hi. Let's see. Shada says, I need three tell you something for your ears only. Okay. Send me an email, Shada. Cantrell didn't align himself with phonies. 2 times is a natural, but a natural with it, and those appeared around him appear to be the ones that get killed. Yeah, that's my concern. You know what I mean? Like I think 2 times went into a lion's den. They don't have good intentions for him because 2 times it won't be able to be controlled. He seems to be kind of a solid. I don't know, but he seems to be. And they see 2 times as a threat. And it's more of them that have gotten together and plotted, okay, as it relates to him. To include, I believe, they're trying to figure out a way that they can control him while capitalizing off of him. And Bag is a big phony. Yeah. All right, you guys. I am getting ready to get off here. I am tired. Monica says I lost our respect for Bag when he made that Dolph diss. But we're gonna get on tomorrow. And we're gonna talk about I'm gonna do it. We're gonna talk about Finesse 2 times tomorrow. We're gonna do a live on him tomorrow, okay? I didn't even intend to stay on. When I got on tonight, I was only intended to stay on for 1 hour, but it's been 2 hours, okay? And I am sleepy. But y'all, I will be on again tomorrow, and I want you guys to have a good night. Talk to you later.